Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Arkham Horror Files, the series where I pick one of the investigators from the Arkham Horror LCG and overview their investigator card, along with their signature cards, as well as go over card choices and overall deck building strategies I think would work well with them. In today's episode of the Arkham Horror Files, we're going to be taking a look at one of my personal favorite investigators, Jenny Barnes, the Dillettante. Jenny is a rogue investigator with 3 willpower, 3 intellect, 3 might, 3 agility, 3 pistols, 3 necklaces, 3 hats, 3 pairs of boots. Jenny has 8 health and 7 sanity and has a passive ability that reads, "You collect 1 additional resource during each upkeep phase." Lastly, on the front half of her investigator card, her Elder Sign effect states, +1 for each resource you have. Jenny has a deck size of 30. Her deck building options include rogue cards levels 0 through 5, neutral cards levels 0 through 5, and up to 5 level 0 cards from any other class. Jenny is required to include in her deck her twin 45s, searching for Izzy, as well as 1 random basic weakness. Her base stat line, while not excelling in one area, gives her a fighting chance at most skill tests in the game. Her passive ability, however, is her defining ability. Ever since the days of the Arkham Horror 2nd Edition board game, she has always been well funded. While simple in concept, this ability is elegant and powerful, unlike her Elder Sign ability, which is mediocre. Her health and sanity levels are on par with most of the other investigators, but Jenny's real power lies in her versatility and ability to generate tons of resources. Similar to the other investigators from the Dunwich Legacy, Jenny can include up to 5 cards of any non-rogue, non-neutral class, which provides her with a lot of different options when deck building. This, coupled with her extra resource generation, allows Jenny to be built in a variety of ways, ranging from a wealthy monster hunter to a lucrative clue gatherer. In multiplayer, cards like Teamwork and the ally Charles Ross Esquire facilitate Jenny to be the team's bank, massing resources and paying for expensive weapons like the illustrious lightning gun. This versatility also comes in handy when playing solo. Jenny can be built to tackle a wide variety of threats and challenges all at once. Moving on to Jenny's signature cards, the first card we have is Jenny's Twin 45s, a perfect fit. This card is an X-cost asset with 2 agility and 1 wild skill icons. It has the item, weapon, and firearm traits. It takes up both hand slots. It comes into play with X ammo and has an action that reads, "Spend 1 ammo, fight." You get +2 might for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage. This is an excellent signature card. Jenny can amass a ton of resources and turn those into ammo for her pistols. A decent buff to your might value and bonus damage means you can quickly dispatch low health enemies without having to commit other cards or actions. The skill icons are nice in a pinch, but I think most of the time you'll be playing this card rather than committing it to a test. Overall, I really like this card a lot. Jenny's other signature card, the Green Man Medallion, is a 1-cost asset with 2 wild skill icons. It has the item and relic traits, and takes up the accessory slot, and is a replacement card. It has a fast action that states, "Spend up to 3 resources and exhaust Green Man Medallion. Place those resources on it as offerings." It also has a reaction ability that reads, "When you resign or the game ends." For every 6 offerings on the Green Man Medallion, reduce the experience cost of the next card you purchase before the next scenario by 1. This signature card is interesting and certainly unique. Combining this with cards like Adaptable and Karen's Obel can give you loads of extra experience to buy all the exceptional cards rogues have access to, as well as cards like Chicago Typewriter. While Jenny has access to 2 great signature cards, she also has weaknesses you'll have to include when deck building. Searching for Izzy is Jenny's first weakness. This card has the task trait and has an effect that reads, "Revelation. Attach searching for Izzy to the location farthest from you." It has a double action that any investigator at this card's location may take that states, "Investigate. If you succeed, instead of discovering clues, discard searching for Izzy." And lastly, Forced. When the game ends, if searching for Izzy is in play, you suffer 1 mental trauma. This weakness isn't too terrible to have to deal with. In multiplayer, you can have your allies assist you in your search, and failing isn't game or campaign ending. In standalone mode, this card just takes your draw away from you. Jenny's replacement weakness, however, is more beastly. Sacrificial Beast is a 4 fight, 3 health, 2 of 8 enemy with the monster and dark young traits. It deals 1 damage and 1 horror upon attack. Sacrificial Beast spawns at the location farthest from you and has a passive ability that reads, Jenny Barnes cannot gain resources via card effects. This weakness is much more detrimental to Jenny's game plan. Thankfully, much like in your search for Izzy, fellow investigators can assist you in dealing with this threat. Not only does this card prevent you from gaining resources with Jenny's ability, but it's also worth noting that this weakness also prevents you from gaining resources from cards like Emergency Cash, Hot Streak, and Payday. If you do play with the replacement cards, you want to make sure that you can deal with this monster quickly. As Jenny, you have a vast array of deck building options available to you, and at first it can seem daunting. It can be easy to take a Jenny deck in many different directions at once and not have the deck perform well because of it. I find this problem to be exacerbated, particularly when building a deck for solo play, where you feel inclined to do a bit of everything. When building a Jenny deck, it is imperative that you have a clear concept or set of goals in mind. Being primarily a rogue investigator, Jenny can play the succeed by 2 or more strategy. This deck comprises of cards like Quick Thinking, the 41 Derringer, and Cheap Shot. By over-succeeding, you're given some additional benefit like extra damage, card draw, or extra actions. While you have cards that give you the benefits of over-succeeding, you'll need ways of boosting your stats so that you can actually over-succeed. Thanks to the extra resources Jenny accumulates, cards like Streetwise, Hard Knocks, and the out-of-class Arcane Studies can help you get your stats to very high levels. Another direction you could take your Jenny deck in is what I like to call the investigate and gain tons of resources while doing it route. Dr. Miley Christopher can be the perfect partner for a burglary, netting 4 resources on locations, even if they don't have clues on them. This can make funding your party members a breeze. But if you want to be a lone wolf too, that's okay. Going with this strategy, it would be worth considering Charisma to be able to include Lola Santiago as your extra ally. Lola can turn all those extra resources into free clues, while also padding out your stat line. Bringing your trusty lockpicks wouldn't hurt either. Streetwise again helps you investigate high shroud locations when needed, while also giving you the means to evade enemies. If investigating is already being taken care of, you can instead focus on agility. Cat Burglar, or the survivor ally Peter Silvestri, are decent ways of boosting your agility stat, while also providing an additional benefit. Backstab is a great event for taking out troublesome enemies, and for when you want to be sneaky, stealth can help you get around enemies. One more deck concept before I close out the video, and I kinda already mentioned it earlier, is the Green Man Medallion experience deck. This deck looks to squeeze by the first couple scenarios, to then have a massive experience to use on game-breaking cards like the Gold Pocket Watch and the Skeleton Key. This is a high-risk, high-reward type deck, and admittedly, I'm not sure if it works, but it sounds like a blast to play. Jenny is one of my favorite investigators to build decks for. Her simple yet elegant design allows her to be well suited for many different types of decks, and can be played well in just about any game mode. I want to hear from you though. What are some cards that you would include in your Jenny deck? What strategies do you think work best with Jenny? Which investigator would you like me to cover in the next episode? Leave your answers in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Arkham related content.